Today we will see about the cervical fascia, that is the deep cervical fascia. Deep cervical fascia. It has three layers. It has got three layers. Outermost is, that is the investing layer. Outermost is investing layer. Middle is pretracheal fascia. Pretracheal fascia, investing fascia or layer. Middle is pretracheal fascia. The innermost is, that is the deepest is prevertebral fascia. Prevertebral fascia. The deep cervical fascia has three layers, three parts. Outermost is the investing layer. Investing layer or investing fascia, rather pretracheal fascia. Then the innermost is the deep is the prevertebral fascia. Now we will see one by one. Now we will see about the investing layer. The investing layer, superiorly there is a superior nuchal lines. You can see here the base of the mandible, that is the mustard process. Superiorly mustard process, superior nuchal lines, external occipital protuberance, superior nuchal lines, mustard process, base of the mandible superiorly, and superior and inferiorly you will see the manubrium, the clavicle, manubrium of the sternum, clavicle, acromion process and acromion process of the scapula, and spine of the scapula inferiorly. Then posteriorly there is a ligamentum nuke. Posteriorly there is a ligamentum nuke is there. Posteriorly ligamentum nuke. Then anteriorly symphysis menti and hyoid bone. Anteriorly symphysis menti and hyoid bone, the base of the mandible here. And inferiorly, I will repeat, the manubrium, the clavicle, the trapezius, spine of the scapula, acromion process of the scapula. Well, see here. Here what happens, the fascia will split here. Fascia will split here. Split here to cover the two glands, parotid gland and submandibular gland. This parotid fascia is the tough gland, is very much hard and unyielding, thick and unyielding fascia which covers the parotid fascia. Parotid fascia, and this deep fascia from the angle of the mouth, deep fascia goes to the styloid process. Styloid process, and it forms a ligament called as stylomandibular ligament. From the styloid process to mandible, the deep part of the this cervical fascia investing layer forms a ligament called as stylomandibular ligament, and this muscle will split to form here two muscles to enclose trapezius and this. Moreover, the two bellies are formed here. Here two bellies, digastric and omohyoid. Omo means shoulder. Shoulder to hyoid bone. Two bellies are also attached to this fascia. Once again I repeat here, the superficial and deep. Superficially the parotid covering the parotid fascia, and deep will form from the angle of the mandible, it goes to the styloid process, forms a ligament, stylomandibular ligament. This is the one fascia. Here you will see here the inferiorly there is a, it split to form the manubrium supraclavicular space. From the, it splits to form the clavicle and the sternum, and there is a space is called as suprasternal space, space of Burn. space of burn is here, and the supraclavicular space is the supraclavicular space, that is the suprasternal. Two spaces are formed by here. Inferiorly, the two spaces above the clavicle, supraclavicular, above the sternum, suprasternal space of burn. Here what happens? Here the angle of the mandible, there is a, and from the angle of the mandible the fascia splits. The fascia splits and superficial fascia goes to the masseter muscle, goes to the zygomatic arch. And the deep fiber will go to the medial pterygoid, and it will form the medial pterygoid, and it will form the goes to the lateral pterygoid. Here the space is called as masticatory space is formed here. Masticatory space is formed here. This masticatory space contains muscles of mastication, maxillary artery, and mandibular nerve. One space is here. And suprasternal space, see here. I will tell you in brief, I will tell you. The importance, first you will see the suprasternal space. The suprasternal space or space of burn. Suprasternal space or space of burn. Yet what happened? It has got interclavicular ligament. One muscle, sternomastoid muscle. Then anterior jugular vein. And lymph nodes. These are the contents. Of the space of burn. Interclavicular ligament. The lymph node may be, this lymph node may be infected in the tuberculosis or any abscess. It may form the cold abscess. Or the tuberculosis may form. It can be tapped locally. Infection will be a local infection. It can be tapped and aspirated from the needle. This lymph node may involve in the infection. It is the importance of the suprasternal space. It is clinically very much important. Due to the lymph node may involve in the tuberculosis or in the cold abscess may be formed. Cold abscess means there is an infection but no inflammation. That's called cold abscess. And one more space is here. What I told you, one more space. That space is called as masticatory space. That space is called as masticatory space. The masticatory space, once again I repeat, from the angle of the mandible, the fascia will go to the masseter muscle, from which go to the zygomatic arch. From the zygomatic arch, then the deep fibers goes to the medial pterygoid. It goes to the lateral pterygoid plate. The space is formed is called as masseteric phase. This phase contains muscles of mastication. What are the muscles of mastication? Easy to remember. More milk, mnemonics, more milk, less tea. medial pterygoid, masseter, lateral pterygoid, temporalis. These muscles are lying here. Apart from the muscles of the mandible, that is the masseter, medial pterygoid, lateral pterygoid, and temporalis, there is a maxillary artery and mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve is lying in the masticator space. Now the clinical significance of the masticator space. The masticator space clinical significance is the last molar teeth, any molar teeth. After the extraction of the molar teeth or abscess of the molar teeth may drain into this space. The abscess after removal or abscess in the molar teeth may come to the masticator space. Hence the masticator space is very much important. Two spaces, masticator space. Once again I will show you here. It's very much important clinically. It is a suprasternal space. Space of Berne here. Space of Berne which contains the sternocleidomastoid muscle. That is the interclavicular ligament. Space of Berne. That is interclavicular ligament. Then it contains the jugular vein, anterior jugular vein connect to the jugular arch. Then lymph node. These lymph nodes are very much important. During the tuberculosis or any severe infection, there is a cold abscess may occur. It can be tapped locally. See here, from this angle of the mandible, there is a, see here, the masticator space may form here. Masticator space may form here. This masticator space will contain the muscles of mastication, maxillary artery, mandibular nerve. Any extraction, any infection from the molar teeth, it may be due to the abscess of the molar teeth. After removal, the abscess will collect into this space. It is regarding the first layer. That is the first layer. Now we'll go to the second layer. That is the, see here. Second layer will go here. That is the pretracheal. See here. Pretracheal layer. Pretracheal layer is here. It attaches from the hyoid bone. See here, you can see the hyoid bone here. From the hyoid bone and the cricoid cartilage. The importance is given to this pretracheal fascia. I will write here. Pretracheal fascia. Pretracheal means before the trachea. Before tracheal fascia. Pretracheal fascia is here. You can see here pretracheal fascia attached to the hyoid bone. Hyoid bone, you can see the hyoid bone and cricoid cartilage. Then importance is given to that. It will enclose the thyroid gland. It encloses the thyroid gland. And the capsule of the thyroid gland is posterolaterally is very weak. Hence, it forms a ligament through which the thyroid gland suspends. That is called suspensory ligament. Suspensory ligament, which encloses and suspends which anchors or suspends the thyroid gland, which encloses the thyroid gland. You can see here, thyroid gland. It will inferiorly it will come and it will join it will merge with the arch of aorta. Tunica adventitia of arch of aorta. It will merge here. It will merge into the tunica adventitia of the arch of aorta. Inferiorly, it runs behind the brachiocephalic vein. This pretracheal fascia runs behind the pretracheal fascia and merge with the tunica adventitia of the arch of aorta. A suspensory ligament is given a lot of importance because it encircles the thyroid gland. it keeps the thyroid gland in a proper position. It won't allow to sink into the mediastinum. It won't allow to sink into the superior mediastinum. It encloses because the posterior lateral fibers of the thyroid are very weak, very thin. Hence, it anchors through a ligament, suspensory ligament. That's called as suspensory ligament. Suspensory ligament of the thyroid gland. It forms a ligament of the thyroid gland, and any infection may also carry from this fascia to the superior mediastinum. It runs behind the brachiocephalic vein and merges with the tunica adventitia of the arch of aorta. Superiorly, it attaches to the hyoid bone and cricoid cartilage. Cricoid cartilage. It is about the pretracheal fascia. Pretracheal fascia. Now we'll go to the prevertebral fascia. See here. Prevertebral fascia. Superiorly attached to the base of the skull. Superiorly attached to the base of the skull. Inferiorly with at the level of T4. At the level of at the level of T4, at the level of superior mediastinum, inferiorly. And anteriorly there is a pharynx. Pharynx and buccopharyngeal fascia. Anteriorly there is a pharynx and the buccopharyngeal fascia, and laterally it merges with the trapezius muscle. It will lie deep to the trapezius muscle. This is a prevertebral fascia. Pre means before. Before the vertebra, the superiorly the base of the skull. Inferiorly, that is the superior mediastinum. Superior mediastinum is there, and there is a posteriorly, it goes to C7, attachment goes to till C7, and this thing has to be remembered that the cervical plexus, brachial plexus will run behind the prevertebral fascia. This point has to be noted. Cervical plexus, prevertebral fascia. Once again I repeat here, prevertebral fascia, deep fascia, deepest fascia. Superiorly there is a neck, the base of the skull, inferiorly to the mediastinum, and posterior to this fascia there is the cervical plexus is there. That is the brachial plexus. Supraclavicular brachial plexus, cervical plexus is there. And the four cervical plexus will pierce. Four cervical nerves will pierce the prevertebral fascia. Four cervical nerves pierce the cervical fascia, and what happens, the cervical plexus, brachial plexus will go when they will when they will approach, when they will merge from when they will come out from the scalenus medius and scalenus anterior muscle here. Scalenus anterior, scalenus medius muscle, they will also carry. These plexus will carry the fascia, prevertebral fascia, till this carry to the upper limb. This called as axillary fascia. This cervical plexus, brachial plexus will carry the prevertebral fascia. Then we call it as a axillary fascia. It may also go to the shoulder, it may also go to the shoulder also, or the forearm also. It may also go to the forearm. It may extend. This prevertebral fascia also extend to the forearm also. Then we will call it as axillary fascia. Axillary fascia. This cervical plexus and brachial plexus will carry this axillary. See,